Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a happy Saturday to you all. Look at this, an OST Saturday on a Saturday. We haven't had one of these in like a month, but we are back with more OSTs. Little bit of a shorter. I feel like there wasn't a whole lot that dropped, at least the ones that popped up at me. I'm also kind of running short on time today because I have to go pick up my dad from the airport in a little bit, and it is 9 a.m. Very early in the morning for me on a Saturday, but that's besides the point. We have our roundup of OSTs to get through this week. Jumping back on board with a little bit of Suzy one time, back again with some OnlyOneOf one time, SSERAFIM and their Overwatch collaboration, which I probably could have done in its own video on yesterday, but we're just going to throw it in here today because I ran out of time yesterday. Mr. Mujin, a little bit of Mujin one time, and then finishing off with Miss Moonstar herself, Miss Moonbyul. I'm very excited for. Hopefully you are as well. Let's get her going. DJ, roll the intro. Right, so let's get started with number one for the day. This is Miss Suzy, of course, lead actress in the Netflix live-action adaptation of Duna with the song Undercover. Now, I have just clocked that it's only 1 minute 44, so I wonder if this is kind of along the directions of what like Japanese animations or animes do with like, OPs and EPs, opening songs and ending songs. But we're just gonna send that. I haven't had the time to watch this. I also don't have a Netflix account, so I have to surf the seas to watch it. But let's see what this is all about. The 19 and rating in the corner slightly worries me, but I'm hoping it's just like tobacco and alcohol use and things like that, and it's gonna be nothing too dark and grim to start off on a Saturday. But nonetheless, here we go. I kind of like this dark cyberpunky sound. It's nice. Nice snappy release. That layering they have in Suzy's voice is really interesting because there's like her natural higher tone, and then they're like layering an octave lower to add like a little buzz to it, which is very interesting. Short but very snappy indeed. Interesting. It does have that kind of dark cyberpunk aesthetic to it, and whoa, what was that? Why is it that every time I sit down and record something, the landscapers come around? But that's the point. There's something about this, like, cyberpunk futuristic sound that does something for me. It works, and I like the fact that Undercover isn't one that's cyberpunky for the sake of being like cyberpunky, but it's actually quite a dark and dramatic sounding cyberpunk sound. It's slow and it's heavy, but it still has like the buzz of that cyberpunk synth. Paired with her lower voice, like again, I explained this last week as well, but I never listened to Miss A, so I don't know what Suzy's natural range is. But the more I listen to Suzy through Duna's OSTs and stuff, and just various other projects that she's done this year, her lower tone is very satisfying to listen to, and I quite enjoy it. And then when she goes up into her like higher voice, they added a secondary lower voice beneath it to almost mimic what the sound and like the texture of that cyberpunk synthesizer is doing for the instrumental track. And I think that's a really interesting balancing thing they've done. It's very subtle on paper, but like the overall effect of it is very pronounced for such a small little detail. And not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. And it's also kind of proving the point that I need to freaking watch this show or find a way to watch this show because, But anyways, we'll keep her moving one time. Next up, OnlyOneOf. We're jumping back on board with OnlyOneOf and Bump Up Business. We checked out Evergreen last week. I didn't realize that this show was literally with the OnlyOneOf members, which I think is very cool. I don't know if this is like a regular thing or if this is like a brand new thing they're doing. And admittedly, I'm not very familiar with their off-stage and out of studio stuff. So, but I still think that's very cool to have like the members involved in their own little like drama project. But this is Love Me by OnlyOneOf. I don't know who's exactly involved. Like last week, knew exactly who out of OnlyOneOf was involved. This week, it didn't say on the release calendars. We're just going to treat it as an entire group release. But this is Love Me, of course, stylized in their usual fashion with the O capitalized. So let's see what we got. Cool reverb, nice wide soundscape on the synth. It almost sounds like the vocal parts stacked. Oh, nice expansion there. A little bit of tasteful auto-tune as well. Nothing too harsh. Now that they've taken away like the plucky synth part, you can hear just how wide this song is. Nice texture. Big sound, wide sound. The subtle vocal harmonies is a nice touch too. Oh, that transition was really snappy. It felt so natural, but there wasn't a clear transition there. Interesting. Drop the beat into halftime for the rap verse. Bring it back to full time. I think the auto-tune's an interesting choice because it works for a song like this. But it's so subtle that it's not like... Because usually auto-tune's really pronounced no matter what you do with it, but it's very subtle here. And then offsetting it with the nice bright high vocal for the pre-chorus, spot on. And having that synthesizer do the call and response with the vocal line, very nice little detail. Because without it, it would have just been silent, right? Love me now. It's the little details like that that work for me. Oh. So is this the bridge or the outro? This is an outro. Oh, what an interesting way to finish. They have the drum fill to end. They let the vocal top line go solo, reverb out, or dissipate out, but they never finish the chord sequence in the instrumental track. Oh. You know? In these last 2 weeks covering OnlyOneOf OSTs, I've noticed that they are a lot more straightforward than their studio releases, like in terms of like composition and like the musical like kind of weirdness that they do. It's very easy to understand and listen to. But yet again, only one at the very end. Like I was thinking this was gonna be a smooth sailing, nice, easy song. At the very end, they decided to get just a little bit spicy. It's like they added a singular slice of chili to the curry at the end. But I kind of dig OST OnlyOneOf. There's something about it that just feels comfortable. Like it's not overly harsh. The music is quite smooth and groovy. Maybe it's a show that they're writing for, but yeah, just listening to it, it's easy. I don't have to think too hard to listen to it, which works in my favor because it is early in the morning. I've said that how many times today, but it's early in the morning and my brain doesn't work right now. But it's a very nice, smooth OST. It's quite an ambient OST, surprisingly. I didn't think this would be a song that was this open. Like the soundscape I'm listening to it in almost feels like I'm in like a never-ending void and the sound just rings for eternity, especially in the instrumental section, which I think is really interesting. Because I figured a song like this would have like, I think a bigger soundscape for a song like this works, but I didn't think it would be this big, if that makes sense. Yes. Now, this one, everyone has been talking about on the social medias. This is SSERAFIM partnering up with Overwatch 2 and the Blizzard Games people. I kind of like the video game collaborations we're having recently. Like we had Mujin doing the League World's Anthem. We had Big Naughty doing a song for a professional league team. We had Heartsteel earlier in the week, the brand new virtual band or virtual group from Riot. And now we have the Fimmies partnering up with Overwatch, which is great time indeed. I bet Sakura had a field day with it, knowing her gamer self. Anyone remember when she used to live stream video games in between SSERAFIM and IZ*ONE? Or like during IZ*ONE times? I remember that. Great times. But this is SSERAFIM's Perfect Night in collaboration with Overwatch 2. I have no idea what this song is about. I've seen screenshots and little GIFs and short clips circulating around social media everywhere. Reddit, Twitter, Instagram. What was the other one? I mean, people uploaded like screenshots on YouTube community pages. It was everywhere. I think I even saw it on a Snapchat story from someone, and I rarely see any K-pop stuff on my Snapchat feed. But let's see what everyone is talking about. Here we go. Also, I feel like I'll be able to understand this song a little bit more because I actually played Overwatch for a very brief amount of time. Last time I played was when Hammond or Hamster Ball got released. If that shows my age, so to speak. Whoa! Okay, this is not the direction I would have expected an Overwatch song to go. Also, love that they got characters involved with the MV as well. Oh, guess Smooth was it. Hold on. Whoa! Wow, that was a short pre-chorus. Still keeping the groove though. Very subtle vocal layering. Oh, not so subtle anymore. Oh, this is so interesting because the groove doesn't really change, but you know what part of the song you're in listening to it. Also, I am loving the amount of vocal harmonies this song has. Like, whether it's unisons or like actual split harmonies, this might be the most like vocally expansive Fimi like vocal part we've had. Also, who is? I have no idea who that hero is. Because I recognize everyone else. Like, I recognize I recognize Sombra on the motorcycle, Diva and Tracer, but who's the one on top of the van? Is she one of the new heroes that got added between me playing last? Even in the bridge, like, the instrumental changed, but the vibe didn't. How have they managed to do that? Yeah, the harmonies are cool. I feel like SSERAFIM have to, I'm trying to think back on their discography now. Like, have SSERAFIM done a big, like, vocal harmony moment? Admittedly, I'm not all that familiar with SSERAFIM's discography off the top of my head, especially that Unforgiven album, just because I haven't really put in a lot of time with that, even though it's been out for a little while. But no, they got the groove down, and it's usually on a song. If like the feeling of it is pretty flat throughout, I would want a change to happen here and there. For some reason, I don't mind as much on Perfect Night. Maybe it's doing just enough to keep me like engaged and keep me intrigued in the song and where it's gonna go. But just off of first listen, the groove of it is really consistent. I mean, sure, you know, in the pre-choruses, the percussion part or the pad part kicks out, so it feels slower, even in the same case in the bridge, but there's something about it where I'm listening to it, and I almost don't want the groove to change, if that makes sense. Like, this isn't a song that's got big changes. This isn't a song that has a massive rush of energy in the chorus drop. But I don't really care if it doesn't have one of those. And I don't really feel that way about a lot of songs, which is very interesting for me. Also, are they adding SSERAFIM skins to these 5 characters in Overwatch 2? Because if they are, I might have to play some Overwatch 2. Because, yeah, I'm, you know, when it comes to, like, exclusive stuff like this, I might be a sucker for it. If I have to pay for it, nah, screw that, but you know, this might be the thing that gets me back playing Overwatch again. Probably gonna be Garbo at it. I only ever played Soldier and Hammond, because I was a CS:GO guy more than Overwatch back when it was still Overwatch 1. And didn't you have to pay for Overwatch 1 back in the day? And isn't Overwatch 2 technically free to play? Anyways, that's besides the point. Unrelated, non sequitur. Alright, next up, this is, I believe, Mujin, right? Yes, Mujin. Have we had an Mujin OST yet? I'm struggling to think, because usually when it comes to Mujin, he's the MC and the host on Mujin's service, of course. 최승의 라이브로 최고의 만족을 드리는 Mujin service. But we have an OST from it, which is very exciting. This is the song Rest for the drama Castaway Diva, OST Part 1, which means fresh on the scene. And I'm very excited for this because Mujin's voice is brilliant, and I love listening to him sing. So, here we go. His tone is so charming to me. It's a very cozy slow song though. Oh, hello, string section. My people. I feel like through OST Saturdays or on Mujin services, I've never heard him I've never listened to him sing this low and gentle, which is very cool. Did they just hide a key change in the glissando there? Oh, get up there, Mujin. Oh, this is such a pretty guitar solo. It's so slow and it's so rounded. It pairs so well with the shoulder strings in the background. Did they hide another key change in that? Not so sure on the second one, but this might have been the same key from before the solo. But still, it feels higher for me. At least it feels brighter, maybe because it's after the solo. The very subtle 3 meter section for Mujin, very much him, I feel like. Oh, the super gentle, like light-footed finish. Is that the release? Oh, they're not gonna. Okay. Shout out my shoulder string people one time. That's my people. You know, when mouth work. When I think of like Mujin and what he would do with an OST, I feel like it would be a song like this. You know, it's a song that showcases his very unique tone, nice charming voice, his big range, both in scale and in power, and vocal texture, to be fair, as well. And just listening to him, I feel like on a song like this really accentuates how gentle his voice can be when he's singing. And I think it's one of these songs is just so cozy to listen to, which is very interesting. And maybe it is titled Rest, so it's supposed to be a little bit calming, a little bit like warm and inviting, and I can dig it. I can dig it very much. But we have one more to go. Miss Moonbyul one time. Love me a little bit of Byul music. But Moonbyul has done a song titled Love Blooms for a strong girl Namsoon. I believe we checked out either 1 or 2 weeks ago when ITZY did a song for it titled Superpowers. So let's see. Actually, I don't know what direction Moonbyul could go, because in the last 2 years, her solo music repertoire has gone in a multitude of directions. She's done super smooth 90s stuff to the more energetic, to the really nice seasonal stuff, and of course, she's also a rapper who can spit super hot fire as well. So let's see what version of Moonbyul we're gonna get today. Here we go. A little upbeat and cutesy, okay. She is singing this with a little bit of a lighthearted tone to her. But there's certain notes, like held notes, where there's a very subtle vibrato I feel like I haven't heard her use too much. Okay, she's getting a little saucy with it. That little very short run. Ow. I've done that before. That's not a fun time. Even the guitar solo is lighthearted. How does that happen? Hello, background vocal part. Again, kind of similar to the SSERAFIM song. This is a song that doesn't have a lot of up and down growth to it in the major moments, say in the choral transitions, but it doesn't need it. It does just enough to get its point across that it's changing musical phrases. And I feel like any more it would have taken away from it. On the fact that it's able to incorporate this nice, very gentle but very nice guitar solo in every post-chorus. I kind of wanted that song to keep going. That was a nice song. I like that. I do like that. It's a very charming song. I feel like I've said that a lot, but it's one of those songs where I can just kind of bop along with it with a smile. And I think Moonbyul's voice, as unique of a voice as Moonbyul has, I think it's very fitting for her. And I didn't think I'd say that, because usually, Moonbyul can do, Moonbyul can do a wide variety of stuff, but my brain will always go to stuff especially in her solo career, Eclipse, or I guess Lunatic and G99 as well, but it was just something about hearing Moonbyul do a cutesy song like this is very interesting to me, and it kind of puts a smile on my face. Not by the song itself, but the fact that, this is the type of song that she's gone and done for the show. And, a part of that has to do with the show requiring a song like this. But just something about Moonbyul, who's, always that kind of like chic, not like outwardly girly, low speaking voice, doesn't get too much chance to like sing, especially on group Mamu stuff. I mean, her solo, obviously she has to sing, but I don't know. It's like, it's uncharacteristic of her in a way, and I think I like it even more because of it. It's just a nice song though. I could playlist that and just jam out to it in the car. That's a steering wheel tapper for me. But hey, that's not bad. That's a nice, solid handful of OSTs that we checked out this week. I do wonder how we're gonna do on copyright. I wonder that every week, but OST Saturdays are always the scariest because one, they're the lengthiest things we have, but also they're most susceptible to the content ID block just from the various TV companies that we have to deal with. But I'm pretty sure we'll be okay for this week because these are all shows that we've covered before for the most part. But I love OSTs, man. I love OSTs because where else are you going to be able to hear cutesy Moonbyul in like the same setting as groovy and chill SSERAFIM with like dark and dramatic Suzy? OSTs. It's the wonderful world of OSTs, and we're all here for it. And there's a reason why. Well, I think we missed a week out of the overall number that we could have had throughout the year. But there's a reason why we do this every week. It's because I love OSTs, and I think OSTs deserve a lot more love and attention than they typically get. But that is it for me today with this week's roundup of OSTs. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let's work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness to may brighten up someone else's day to day. Know that wherever you are in the world, if you're ever going through a tough time in life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and if you're here for OSTs, see ya next week. Bye bye.